everybody, welcome back to Living Life with Miss Faye. Today we're going to talk about diet. How I lost 10 pounds of belly fat in 30 days. 10 pounds of real solid belly fat in 30 days. All right, people, there are a lot of diet plans out here, and frankly, I've tried them all before. And I believe that the secret is finding a plan that you can live on. Now, I've had 4 children in my life. All right. And ladies, after we have kids, we get that little pouch right there that is very hard to get rid of. I don't know if you can see mine, but mine is completely gone. Completely gone. And I did it in just 30 days. Now, as you know, I do walk every day. And walking is the cheapest exercise out there. You can walk outside of your house, just walk 15 minutes a day. And then building up to 30 minutes a day. Now, I think my walk is about 45 minutes every day. I just walk out of my house to my local park, around the park, and then I come home and I do that every day. That's been my routine for years. But still, I had that pouch that I could not get rid of. And if you look at any of my older videos, you see that I'm much larger than that I am right now. Now, when I got on this sugar plan, I call it the sugar diet. Most of us, we like sugary things. And even when we go on other diets, we crave sugar. Now, on this plan, what you can't eat is fat, protein, or starch. All right, now, if you look at that, there's a lot of things that are crossed out. Now, I've encouraged you to get rid of eating meat for a long time because meat is really detrimental to your health. Number one, when you eat meat, you're eating the energies of the meat that you're eating. And many of those animals were slaughtered before they came to the supermarket under horrible conditions. And so that purified energy is what you are putting in your system. And it affects your own energy. That's why many of us are living in misery, because we're full of miserable energy that we have eaten unknowingly, that's affecting our own happiness. Now, on the sugar diet, you can have sugar, all right, but no fat. So that means no chocolate. You can't have milk, eggs, pasta, rice, anything like that. And only this is while you are trying to get down to the weight that you want to get to. And then there's a maintenance. There is a maintenance program with this plan that once you hit your maintenance, then you can filter in, your starches and your meat in moderation, just for maintenance. And you'll do some other things just to keep those calories burned so that you'll stay slim. Now, we struggle. Ladies, when you get older, you struggle getting those pounds off. I know you do, because I've been there. Like I said, I had 4 kids. And that weight, after each kid, it just comes on, it comes on, it comes on. And it's very hard to get off and stay off. And even with my other eating plan, I got to a wall to where I couldn't lose the weight. All right? I still had that pouch there. It was a whole ring around my middle, and I could, pinch it and it was just a lot. And I see that many women, to get rid of it, they'll go and get it cut off. I don't want to do that. I don't want the surgery to get that cut off. I think that I can get rid of it on this sugar plan, on this sugar diet. You can get rid of that. You can have your abdomen flat again, like it used to be. And with a little movement or whatever, then you can get it smooth again. But first thing we want to do is get it flat. What you do on this diet, you only eat fruit. Now that means canned fruit or fresh fruit. Now fresh fruit, is fantastic. And today, many times the fresh fruit is not as sweet as it should be. And we can dip it in honey or dip it in any kind of other syrup or put sugar on it or whatever. And this plan for the sugar diet is to lose weight fast. Get down to the weight that you want to be, and then you want to maintain it. Okay? Now, a lot of diets, they get you down to the weight, but there's no maintenance. And you don't want to stay on a diet plan forever. You want to get to where you can eat your regular foods and still maintain your weight. Now, for me, when I walk every day, my goal is at least 10,000 steps a day. And that is a good maintenance plan. And to eat under 1,000 calories a day. But that's on your maintenance plan. When you're on the sugar diet, you eat fruit. Anytime when you get up in the morning, eat sugar and fruit. For lunch, eat sugar and fruit. For dinner, eat sugar and fruit. Now for me, I don't eat after 8 o'clock, anything. I fast from 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning. Just, whatever you eat at night, let that be it. Now for me, I like sherbet. It's fat-free, and I'll make myself a tall sherbet, put me some peaches in it, or fruit cocktail, and top it off with some fat-free Ready Whip. I love it. And that's what I'll have for a dinner. To me, it's satisfying. I like sweets. It satisfies that sweet craving. And because it's that sugar, it helps me to sleep. I've slept better on this plan that I slept eating regular foods. And my favorite foods that I was eating before this plan was rice and pasta. I absolutely love rice and pasta. And don't forget those potatoes. Okay? And I couldn't get rid of this at all. Now, once I get on maintenance, I can slowly introduce those back into this sugar diet and still maintain the weight. And the great thing about the sugar diet is if you slip up, for instance, you're on the sugar diet, right? And your friends ask you out to dinner, which they do. And then you go to a restaurant, well, you don't want to look odd out, so you want to get something that you can eat. If you eat, the good thing about the sugar diet is you can hop right back on it the next day. It's not like you really lost anything. You'll gain some water weight from what you've eaten at that meal, but once you jump back on the sugar diet, it'll get rid of it. It will flush it out right away. I have lost at least 2 pounds of that water weight in one day, hopping back on the sugar diet. The sugar diet is the best thing that I have found. It helps you to be as thin as you want to be. And it is a hot crave right now. You'll hear it here and there about the sugar diet. And the key is only eat fruit. And they say fruit and some vegetables. Now, you be careful with the vegetables because some vegetables have starch in them. You absolutely have to read labels on this. You want fruit, even the fruit that's in syrup. I know at one time I was only buying fruit that was in water. On this particular plan, you want the fruit that's in the heavy syrup. The heavy syrup is what makes this diet. All right? And because you're not putting starch in your system, and starch slows it down, it's not that you could not lose weight eating starch, but starch slows the metabolism down. As long as your system only has sugar in it, it burns it fast and gets rid of it fast. And you feel great. You don't feel sluggish. You don't feel like you're thinking about food every 5 minutes and cravings and all of that on this plan. It's absolutely the best plan that I've found, the sugar diet. So I want to be clear on any of you who want to try it. What you eat is fruit, all right? Be careful with fruits that have starch in it. As long as it's just fruit juice, and if you desire any kind of ice creamy or any smoothies, you can have those, as long as there's no starch in it, as long as it's just a fruit smoothie and ices, things like that. And like I said, I love sherbet. So that's my ice cream of choice, and I eat a lot of sherbet every day and with my fruit. And then I top it off with my little whipped cream, and it does me just fine. You see, I'm not sick or anything, but I do take my vitamins, and I did do a video talking about all of the vitamins that I take. And look at me, my face is slim, my body is slim, and my fat, my jelly roll that it took me years to get rid of on all kind of plans is gone. All right. You will absolutely love this plan. Don't be afraid to try it. I will list in the description the things that you can start with and start losing those stubborn pounds right away. And you don't have to go to the gym to kill yourself on those cardiacs and all that kind of stuff and be thin. You don't have to do all that. I only walk every day. You see, and if I add any other activities, it just burns more calories. Okay? And even on this sugar diet, I continue with my dandelion tea, with my agave. I have this, you can start your day with this, or I have it every night. I like to have a warm cup of tea before I go to bed at night, and this is what I have. So even on this plan, because I don't eat after 8 o'clock, if I get a little bit hungry or whatever, I make myself a cup of tea. This is a standard for me. This dandelion tea also helps your body to release any kind of water. You can't retain, it helps you not to retain water on this dandelion tea. And I love the agave. You can spice your tea with whatever you like, because on this sugar diet, you can put any kind of sugar that you like in your tea. But I believe that the dandelion tea is a staple, and I would recommend that you get this. I'll leave a link in the description for both if you want to try the agave, which is all natural, and the dandelion tea, which is all natural. People, you can lose weight, and you can keep it off. There's no reason for you to be at an unhealthy weight, or if you have areas on your body that is stubborn. And I know if you've had children like me, right here, it's where that stubborn fat just sits. I call it my baby fat. It's hard to get rid of, but on the sugar diet, it will melt it away. So people, try it out. Try it out. It worked for me, and I know that you'll love it. Now just remember, on this plan, no starch, no protein, and no fat. No fat, no butter, no milk, no cheese, no fat. And you stay on this plan until you get down to the size that you want to be. Whatever your goal is, you stay on this plan until you reach your goal. Once you reach your goal, then you can start filtering some of those other foods. Like you start with these starches, a little bit of starch here and there, making sure that you keep your calories under 1,000, and then you can work in some fish. That's what I eat. I like the seafood, and that's I do the seafood. I haven't let that go yet. I'm not vegan, and I'm not eating it right now. But when I get on maintenance, you can just filter in a little bit at a time and watch your scale and see if it still goes up or down or whatever. But you can definitely lose weight, as much weight as you want to do, on the sugar diet. I hope you understand. Uh, I hope that you understand, and I hope that you would try it. The sugar diet is the best diet that has come along so far. Thank you for joining me, Living Life with Miss Faye, and I really hope to see you next time.